Hey guys, Adam of AS Trains, and you are looking at the 3 locomotives used to pull my main passenger trains. From left to right, we got the Bachmann Southern Pacific Daylight number 4446. In the middle, we have a Bachmann 484 Niagara number 6008. This is actually a vintage one. And the last locomotive is an AHM Amtrak FT number 4257. This, I think the FT is also a vintage item. I really don't know. It doesn't perform that way, but on the inside it looks kind of vintage. Maybe it was produced maybe around the same time the Niagara was. I don't really know. And anyways, in this video I'm going to be showing you the passenger cars. Now I know I've done so many videos, but I mean really, these are my 3 passenger trains. Well, I think I got one more, or yeah, I got one more passenger train. It's my John Bull, but it is a very old train, not make-wise, but let's see, nostalgia-wise, you know, because it represents one of the first trains here in America. But like I said, I'm going to be going through the passenger cars used on these passenger trains. I'm going to start with the Niagara's train first, considering that it's the shortest. Now I know you guys pretty much already know the cars, but I'm going to go through them anyway. So the first car, this is its tender. And real quick, I'm going to show this real quick. Now, I wish I had a Bachmann Plus or even a DCC Niagara, but I actually prefer this one because, well, the tender, because, I mean, this is the lightning bolt scheme. Now, please note that the actual Niagaras did not have lightning bolt stripes down on their tenders, but, you know, Bachmann just decided to do this, and I actually like it because it looks pretty cool, and plus it matches the cars. So the first car is the baggage car. All 4 of these cars are actually the Niagara's cars, and the Daylight's cars are made by Athearn. Now that's kind of funny, you know, the cars are Athearn, yet the locomotive and the tenders are Bachmann. So that's pretty funny. But this first car is a baggage car. It's a heavyweight baggage. One side has a horn hook, the other side has a knuckle. So this is a transition car, and I'm only going to show one of the Niagara's cars because the others are just the same. But the Niagara is not only pulling the baggage car, but 3 heavyweight coaches, all the same. And I'm going to go ahead and assume you guys watched my update video, and so then you guys won't be asking the question, you know, how did I get that shine? The next train is the Daylight's train. This is its tender. It's the standard oil tender that the Southern Pacific used on their GS4s. And the first and second car are baggage cars. This is a coupler that I consider this a transition car, but I also don't consider it a transition car, but I'll get to that in a moment. But all the cars have knuckle couplers. This one is like it's a combination between a horn hook and a knuckle coupler, and I'll explain how that is. You know, it doesn't have a full knuckle. It doesn't have the thumb, as you can see, but it's also been shaped to represent a horn hook. So you could hook up both a horn hook and a knuckle. On the tender of my tender, I have a knuckle coupler. And the second car, like I said, is a baggage. The next car is an RPO car. Knuckle couplers. Very nice car. Now, when I first got my Daylight train, considering that was the shortest car, I actually put it up front, but after watching a lot of videos, I noticed that the baggage car always came first, so I then put this as the 3rd car in the train. This next car, I don't know if this is a diner car, or if this is a combination car. I think it's a diner, considering that, you know, that door would also be on the other side if it was an RPO car. So this is most likely a diner. And, oh, real quick, let me go back to the Niagara's cars, and, you know what, actually, let me go ahead and explain how I got these and how much I paid for them. The Amtrak FT, I got this with another set, which I'll go ahead and explain it. The Amtrak FT, I got separately from a good friend of mine, and I also got it with another Amtrak set. It's a Bachmann F40PH pulling, I believe, 9 lifelike Amtrak work gondolas and a Amtrak caboose made by, I think it's, on the bottom it says it's made by Roco. I forgot how much I paid for this. I think I bought this, the work train, and I think a few other things. I think total of $100 or so. The Niagara, you guys already seen that I paid $35 for it, and the cars I paid $25, and they were originally Tuscan colored, and they were Pennsylvania Tuscan, and I just custom painted them. The daylight, I already said in that one video, I paid $45 for it, and it came from Sparks, Nevada. Now, excluding one of the baggage cars and the diner car, the five remaining daylight cars, I paid $28 for them. I got my old daylight first for Christmas from my parents, but I didn't have any passenger cars, so I kept my eye out, and at this train show I found 5 cars for $28, in which they were in good shape, so I said, you know what, I'm willing to spend the money. So I bought the cars, and I am really happy. And later on, right in that same train show, this one guy, he was selling one of these baggage cars for $7, and he saw that I had a set of daylight cars, and he said, you know what, I'll let you have it for $5. So I bought it for $5, so they gave me an extra car. And I think a few months down the road, or a few months later, excuse me, my mom and dad went to my local train guy, and my local train guy knew I was on the search for daylight cars, and he asked him, hey, is your son still looking for daylight cars? And he said, well, he's got a set, but he says, you know, the more the merrier. And he said, well, give him this. And now I got 7. And just a fun fact, the actual daylight trains, what was normal was to see 19 daylight cars in a consist. Now 19, that's a long train. So I'm not going to go ultra prototypical, because then I wouldn't be able to run all my daylight cars on my layout, because my HO layout is not that big. If it was larger, maybe, but this engine probably wouldn't handle it, because it would probably just slip its drivers. Okay, so enough chit chat. The next car, sorry, these shells like to come off. This is a coach car. Nothing, just a normal coach car. This car I did some work on. I added a light. This is a Athearn Vista Dome. Now this car, I like it because it's a Vista Dome, but I also have a problem with this car. One side apparently got too much sun, so one side's faded. But no problem. I mean, when it's running, you can barely notice it. And last but not least, the observation car. So that's my daylight Okay, see what I mean? These things like to come off. No, I'm not going to glue them down, because then that wouldn't help with the cleaning, because to clean the wheels and also to oil the bearings, there's screws in there that take off the trucks. So I gotta make sure I have good access to those trucks. Okay, so the last consist we're gonna look at tonight is the Amtrak passenger cars that go with my FT. Now I could use the F40PH, but actually the F40PH is actually not very powerful. It's very weak when it comes to pulling these cars. But this engine is very powerful, and plus, both the F40PH and this FT have both the Phase 1 scheme, which was the pointless arrow. So it really doesn't matter. Okay, so the first car is this Silver Lodge coach car. This next car is a Silver Tower Vista Dome, and now you know why I call the Silver Star, because it's got silver named cars. Okay, now I'm only going to be showing one of these full domes, but this is a Silver Vista full dome car. Once again, made by Lifelike. All these cars are made by Lifelike. The last car in the consist is this Silver Vision observation car. Very nice. I yet to add a coupler to it. Alright, so that was showing you guys the consist that these 3 locomotives pull. I would gladly include the John Bull, but like I said, it's just compared to these engines, it's just too old. these engines are just more modern than the John Bull. But don't worry, whenever I get around to it, I will do a video on the John Bull. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, and if you want to, subscribe. That's it for now. I'm Adam Swindell, and I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more training videos.